Fear does not sleep, it waits. And when your body finally shuts down, fear takes control of your mind without resistance. That is why some nights feel different. You fall asleep expecting rest, but instead you enter a world where danger feels closer, emotions feel sharper, and reality feels fragile. When fear hijacks the sleeping mind, it does not announce itself. It slips in quietly, wearing the shape of dreams. Most people believe sleep is an escape from fear, but the truth is darker. Sleep is where fear gains its strongest voice. It no longer has to compete with logic, distraction, or denial. In sleep, fear becomes the architect of experience, and once it takes control, it does not let go easily. This is not a story about nightmares alone. This is about what happens when fear stops being a reaction and becomes the driver. When it hijacks the sleeping mind, it does not just scare you, it changes you. The human brain evolved with one priority above all others: survival. Long before comfort, safety, or understanding existed, fear kept humans alive. It sharpened awareness, forced memory, and demanded obedience. That system still operates inside you today, unchanged by modern life. You may believe you control your thoughts, but fear controls your instincts. During the day, fear is managed. Logic suppresses it. Routine distracts it. Social behavior hides it. But sleep removes these barriers. When you sleep, the brain lowers rational control and allows emotional systems to take over. This is when fear gains access to the controls. During REM sleep, the brain's emotional centers become highly active while the reasoning centers quiet down. This imbalance creates a perfect environment for fear. Emotions are felt without explanation. Threats are sensed without evidence. Fear no longer needs permission. This is how fear hijacks the sleeping mind. Nightmares are not random creations. They are fear-driven simulations. The brain replays unresolved stress, anxiety, guilt, and suppressed emotion as danger scenarios. It does this because fear demands attention. A calm signal can be ignored. Terror cannot. When fear takes control, dreams change. They become intense, vivid, repetitive. The mind returns to the same themes because fear prefers familiarity. Being chased, being trapped, being watched, falling, failing. These scenarios appear again and again because they reflect internal threats. The brain has identified. Fear hijacks sleep because it believes something is wrong. The body reacts as if the danger is real. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, breathing shortens. Stress hormones flood the system too. Your nervous system, the threat is happening now. The brain does not label it as imagination. It labels it as survival. This is why fear feels real in dreams. The brain is not trying to entertain you. It is trying to prepare you. When fear hijacks the sleeping mind, it often exaggerates. Minor stress becomes catastrophe. Small guilt becomes judgment. Uncertainty becomes pursuit. The brain amplifies fear because it believes intensity equals effectiveness. The fear wakes you. The brain considers the mission successful. If the underlying issue remains unresolved, fear returns stronger. This is why nightmares repeat. Fear is persistent because it believes persistence saves lives. One of the most disturbing aspects of sleep fear is that it bypasses conscious identity. You are not who you think you are in dreams. You are vulnerable, reactive, instinctive. Fear strips away social masks and forces you into survival mode. This is why nightmares feel more honest than waking life. Fear also hijacks memory during sleep. The brain blends past experiences. With imagined threats, old fears resurface, forgotten anxieties reappear. Trauma fragments are replayed in distorted forms. The mind does not distinguish between past and present when fear is in control. Time collapses. Another reason fear dominates sleep is silence. At night, sensory input decreases. Darkness removes visual certainty. Sound fades. The brain fills these gaps with imagination, and fear supplies the content. Silence becomes suspicious. Stillness feels threatening. Fear thrives in uncertainty. When fear hijacks the sleeping mind, it also alters perception after waking. You may feel disconnected, numb, hyper-alert. Reality feels thin. This is not coincidence. Fear lingers. The brain remains cautious, scanning for threats even after sleep ends. This is how fear spreads beyond dreams. Sleep paralysis often occurs when fear fully hijacks the mind. The brain wakes while the body remains paralyzed. Fear floods the gap. Hallucinations appear. Presences are felt, pressure is sensed. These experiences feel supernatural because fear is operating without explanation. Across cultures, people describe the same paralysis shadow. Different names, same fear, same experience. That consistency is not myth, it is biology. Fear also hijacks sleep to rehearse worst-case scenarios. This is known as threat simulation. The brain practices danger to improve survival. But when stress levels are high, simulation becomes obsession. Fear loops endlessly, refining threats instead of resolving them. This is when dreams turn cruel. Fear does not know when to stop. The most unsettling truth is that fear hijacks sleep because it is allowed to. Suppressed emotions feed it. Avoidance strengthens it. Ignoring fear gives it more power. The brain interprets avoidance as danger being unresolved. So fear escalates. People who try to escape nightmares by avoiding sleep make fear stronger. Sleep deprivation weakens emotional regulation. Fear leaks into waking life. Hallucinations, anxiety, paranoia. The hijacking becomes constant. The line between dream and reality blurs. Fear also reshapes identity during sleep. The brain reviews who you are, what you fear, and what you avoid. When fear dominates this process, it rewrites self-perception. You begin to see yourself as powerless, hunted, or exposed. This is how fear changes you. The sleeping mind is defenseless. Fear knows this. That is why it strikes then. But fear is not evil. It is misguided protection. The brain believes fear will force resolution. It believes terror will correct behavior. It believes suffering equals learning. Fear does not measure cost. It measures survival. When fear hijacks the sleeping mind, it is because something feels unfinished, a decision avoided, a truth denied, an emotion suppressed. Fear will not release control until it believes the threat is addressed. Nightmares stop not when fear disappears, but when it is acknowledged. Fear does not want to dominate you, it wants you to listen. When fear hijacks the sleeping mind, dreams become warnings, emotions become threats, and imagination becomes reality. Fear dominates sleep because it bypasses logic and demands attention. It repeats because the brain repeats what remains unresolved. Nightmares are not attacks. They are alarms driven by a survival system that never learned when to stop. Fear feels cruel because it is ancient, and ancient systems do not understand comfort. If this story felt disturbingly familiar, that is not coincidence. Your brain recognized something real. If you want more stories that explore fear, sleep, and the hidden mechanisms of the human mind, subscribe and stay close. Because tonight, when you fall asleep, fear will be waiting, and it never sleeps.